This week, President Biden pushed forward his plan to tackle climate change. He signed a flurry of executive orders that his administration says will address the existential threat with greater urgency.
In my view, we've already waited too long to deal with this climate crisis. We can't wait any longer. That's why I'm signing today an executive order to supercharge our administration's ambitious plan to confront the existential threat of climate change. It is an existential threat.
Some of that supercharged action includes elevating climate change to a national security priority, conserving at least 30% of all federal land and water by the year 2030, and suspending new leases for oil and natural gas development on federal lands and waters. That last order, the moratorium, will not end fossil fuel extraction altogether. The industry still has some undeveloped leases. Some companies have vocally opposed Mr. Biden's actions. They may even challenge the orders in court. Joining us now is Gina McCarthy, the White House's national climate advisor. She also served as EPA administrator under President Obama. Ms. McCarthy, good evening.
It's great to see you. Thanks, Joshua.
I wonder how we deal with getting this done. In addition to the $1.9 trillion COVID relief package that the president is pushing Congress to approve, there's also a $2 trillion plan to eliminate greenhouse gas emissions from the power sector by 2035 and across the entire U.S. economy by the year 2050. That T word, trillion, just seems to send half of Congress into agita. How do you work through that?
Well, Joshua, I think what you're talking about is the whole Build Back Better plan that President Biden has outlined. And last week was a terrific week for science. You know, he moved forward to once again embrace science integrity across the whole of government. He started back his presidential advisors on science and technology. And the third thing he did was really make it clear that we have to tackle the climate crisis in a way that grows millions of jobs and also addresses the equity challenges that we know are holding so many communities back. So what you're talking about is investing in the future. What you're talking about is investing to get out of the economic downturn that COVID-19 has brought us in. Don't think about these as wasted costs. Think about these as our opportunity to build the future we need. This is all about jobs. This is all about actual infrastructure investment. This is not pie in the sky. This is essential ways in which we are going to get out of the challenges that we're facing today and start looking at the future and once again bring domestic leadership in the United States and internationally become a leader when it comes to tackling climate change.
Talk about the work that needs to be done in terms of the federal government itself, some of the infrastructure like the EPA, the Fish and Wildlife Service, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, you know, the U.S. Geological Survey. How are those agencies doing now after the previous administration?
Well, we've had some difficulties with the previous administration. The more we have people go into these agencies now, the more we realize that the science process has been dismantled, which is the reason to move forward with these executive orders. But this whole process is now about recognizing that in order to recover from COVID-19, in order to address systemic racism that has been a problem for a long time and tackle climate, we have to have a whole of government approach. So this is creating an infrastructure to both, once again, participate at the international level with strengths for the United States so we can lead in clean energy internationally. But it's also about making sure that every one of those agencies is rebuilt and is able to take their part in addressing the climate crisis. So we're going to look at procurement, we're going to look at budgets, we're going to look at policies, we're going to look at rebuilding this country and strengthening the federal government so we can provide the leadership, not just that science demands, but people demand. We have to protect people again, get them healthy, get them safe, get them secure. Know that they have a future that they can live to their that they can leave to their children, that they're going to be proud of.
Mitch McConnell referred to the Green New Deal in talking about the president's executive orders on the floor of the Senate this week. I want to ask you something about this part of what he said.
It shouldn't be this way, not with a president who campaigned on protecting the lunch pail union jobs that his left flank wants to eliminate. The president was not elected to enact policies that prompt a certain young congresswoman from New York City to boast online that her radical ideas are shaping his energy policies. This piecemeal Green New Deal is the wrong prescription. Wrong for the environment, wrong for national security, and most of all, for the working Americans who will soon be formally working Americans if this keeps up.
I know my time with you is brief, but on one hand, his argument about hurting what he described as lunch pail union jobs is not necessarily a sound argument. It is not certain that union jobs would be destroyed by this. Indeed, some of them could be just transferred, if not improved, depending on the future of these jobs. So let's set that aside. But I do think that there's been a lot of political success in tying the Green New Deal to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as a cudgel, as a way of making people go, oh, no, never, no, forget it. No, I'm sorry. Anything associated with her, I don't want anything to do with. If you could cut past all the politics on this and just talk to people who are like, I'm not ready for whatever the hell this is. I'm just not ready for it. What's the one biggest thing you want every American to know about what we have to do right now to save our home before I let you go?
Well, right now, what we have to do to save our homes is to follow the science and create the kind of jobs we want in the future. This is a Biden plan. That's what this is. And which means when he hears climate, he thinks jobs. This is all about growing jobs for the future and about unions, about good paying jobs. That's how we're going to put food on our table again. That's how we're going to feel healthy and secure again. This isn't about the planet. This is about its people. And Joe Biden is going to deliver the kind of future that you and I deserve.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.